Ready to get into it, Peko?
Let's fucking go. Are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Oh, man.
Lads, lasses, welcome back to the Bogan Yack podcast, episode 11. If you missed episode 10, that was because it was a live fucking feed, so you won't see that anywhere. As always, I'm Juddy, and we're fucking missing Tanner for this episode, but we've got a fucking special guest, one of my good mates, fucking Peko, stepping into the plate. What's going on, Peeks?
Not a lot. Work today.
Where'd you work? Which fucking job you can't? You work that fucking many of them?
Nah, the forklift job that I've got in Shet.
Oh, yeah.
At that fruit place that's been bought and sold 27 times.
I wonder what fucking joint that'd be.
Oh, mad. Dude, it's a fucking sinking ship.
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah, it's fucking... Someone brought it again, didn't they?
Yeah, but even on like the app where you see your pay, there's now like a new logo of another business.
Oh, fucking hell.
But it's just... Oh, you know, working at a factory, it's like, oh, you're just a stoop-ass factory worker, but you can actually identify why the business sucks.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, so our work currently is not too, like...
Our work's fine,
shit,
man.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, if there's an issue, you can spot it.
Yeah.
They're exact same thing, but they just don't do anything about it.
Yeah, right. Well, that's probably why they're going under.
Yeah,
Does Coke still own it?
Nah, some Arabic. Fucking, I don't know. Do you have any woke listeners?
I don't fucking really know.
They're brown, and they're not Indian.
Yeah, so it'd be fucking...
Arabic, I think.
Arabic of some description, probably.
They're nice, but yeah, they've just like culled the workforce back, so...
Yeah, because they've got everyone else to do it.
But you've got like... You've got day, arvo, night, so your days are on like 30, arvos are 37... nights are on 42 or 40, whatever 30% loading is. Arvo and night have more operators, but they do less work. And day shift have to fucking work like skin fucking animals because, you know, all the managers are breathing down their neck. It's fucked.
Yeah, it's fucking backwards. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do a fucking shift work job and then go do another fucking shift work job on your days off.
Yeah, so I've done it for... 7 days straight now for 7-8 weeks. I've had 2 days off in that time.
Fuck.
But yeah, it's a struggle getting out of bed.
12s or?
No, 8s.
8s.
Which is all right.
That's a bit better, I suppose. At least you get a bit of a fucking break
Yeah,
to
but
it.
still, you know, like you're working 70 odd hours a week. It's
Fucking
not fun.
Taxman's gonna fucking
dude.
Dude, the fucking tax.
They knock you out and then wake you up with a finger in the arsehole.
Literally, they're gonna be like, "Hey, cunt, here's your 15 grand fucking tax bill." You probably marked to fucking pay the cheaper rate of tax too, did you?
Yeah, well, that's probably the other thing too. Like, you know, I've always sort of been like that money-minded to some extent.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
When everyone was 19, they was smoking weed and going to parties, and I was worrying about my superannuation.
Was that because you had no choice? You had no friends?
that factors into it quite significantly.
You do fucking care about that shit. I don't, because I'll be dead before then, so don't worry about it.
When we were working together, though, like, you gave a shit, you know, when we started meal prepping and then, like, you bought this joint.
Like, I will admit, you're definitely, like, an influence, like, the way, like, you know, your real estate and blah, blah, blah. Like, you do fucking pretty good in that respect, but...
Fucking hinges going off, dude. It might be your wife on the line.
Look out.
Future wifey. But, yeah,
Do you find that, like, women, like, as soon as you say, oh, they're like, oh... what do you do for a job or whatever? And you're like, oh, you know, I work at a factory. They're just like instantly like cut it out.
But it's like, bro, I make twice as much as your personal assistant job. It's like, suck my ass.
And your fucking tradie boyfriend. Like, fucking,
man.
That's fucked. The women just, I don't think they get their head around it. But anyway.
There was a certain person from our local town who moved to Adelaide.
Yep.
Is now going out with an AFL footballer.
Yeah, right.
He came back to Stanhope with her and come to a cricket event and actually started giving me shit about working at the factory. I later found he's a rookie, so he makes
You'd be on fuck all year.
110, 100.
Yeah.
But during COVID, he only got 60% of his fucking
So you get fuck all
income.
anyway. Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know, sort of, you know how I tried to go the corporate route at one stage when you gave me the nickname?
Peko, the CEO.
But you start to realise it's not about that, I guess. You'd rather, like, knock off and not have to worry about work than to take that shit home with you.
Oh, yeah, and our job, you take that shit home.
Yeah,
You're working all the time. Like, one of the bosses rang me at 10 to 11 the other night asking about the next day. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, go to sleep. Like,
just
go
chill
to sleep.
out. You know what I mean?
Fuck, I just could not do that.
Like, working, I've never worked in the dryer, but in Powder, you're pretty self-sufficient. Like, everyone knows
What to do,
like what's expected of them. And it's the same in cheese. It's like the place runs better on weekends when there's no management.
Yeah, you just need them there to do the shit jobs like fucking pays and
pays, like, which is essential. It's shit, but it's essential.
We need that shit for sure.
But
I like, you were going to do the graduate program and all that stuff, and I ran into a bloke that graduated from that.
Yeah,
program.
that's something Stone, whatever his surname is, something Stone.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't go into what his name is. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I actually did it with him. He was in my interview group.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, he's like, you know, the boss was like, "Oh, how organised are you?" And he's like, "Oh, in my personal life, not very, but I could probably organise." He's been late like 3 times and stuff. I'm like, I'm just like, you know, you're in the corporate role, but
get the fundamentals right. Like, if you can't wake up at 7:30 to be somewhere at 9.
Yeah, like, especially the money that, like, not now because he's still like,
exactly,
graduate,
but
potentially the money he could be on is fucking shit all over ours.
Yeah, like, I had to go in for an emergency. Well, it was like 4 hours. I worked 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So, like, waking up at 12:30. Like, the other people on the road are newspaper people and fucking bakers driving to the fucking bakery. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
There's definitely a disparity, you know, between the two. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's
different. Like, and that got me thinking. I was like, you know, they knock back Peko, which obviously you're a hard worker. You go to fucking work whenever the fuck you want, and like, obviously you're chasing money, which everyone is. But like, you knock back a bloke like yourself, and then you put someone that can't even come to work at fucking.
I found that a lot of people who went through that, like, the interview process, were straight out of uni, and they just wanted a grad role regardless of wherever it was.
Just so they had something.
But it's like, I've been with the business for 2 years, I've gone to uni, but I actually have some idea of the company.
Yeah, you have to, like,
you know
teach
what I mean?
him. Yeah. Because I was talking to him, he's like, I've learned a bit about dryers and that sort of stuff, but on books, nothing practical. I'm like, well, fucking, it really means
what good
nothing.
are you?
Yeah, it means nothing. Like, every dryer is different.
And even like the cohort that we went through, like, learning the cheese and the fundamentals and the process itself, until you're actually behind the plant and equipment. Like, a piece of paper doesn't actually show you.
Exactly. And that's the way fucking training's gone. Like, my trade school, just as I was left, we had a multi-million-dollar workshop for our auto elect trade school. I used it twice to pull down a starter motor and an alternator. A multi-million-dollar workshop, and I use it fucking twice. Like, it's a joke. And the rest of the time, you're sitting on the computer answering questions. Like,
you learn with your hands.
Yeah, I especially like fucking.
Me too, man.
Mentally, like, looking at a piece of paper or whatever, unless it's like a license, I fucking suck at it. But yeah, it's I'm definitely working my hands. But the kids now, they're growing up to be like just fit and replace as well. Yeah. So like, trade school is just like, oh, this is how you remove this, blah 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 and stuff. It's sort of gone downhill. It's like, I was lucky. I was probably the last of the people that come through that were sort of like, you know, this is how you pull shit down and repair it. So
I feel like we're the last of a lot of that stuff. So we sort of got even though we've grown up with technology, like, we still know what it was like with dial-up.
Yeah, that's right.
And how shit it is.
That's a
and
good
how
way to put it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the struggles that you had with, you know, handling a PS1 CD, like, with more fucking delicate, you know, fucking hands than what you would handle with your own life. It's just nuts. Like,
well, it's true, because like kids, especially kids nowadays, they don't.
Everything's replaceable.
Yeah, it's all,
you know,
either online or replaceable. Yeah, It's a pick up and throw away world nowadays.
It's sad, really is.
Whether that's got a reason why fucking kids are such little cunts nowadays, I don't know.
Even
they get into everything earlier now, I think. Yeah. Like when I was fucking 11 and 12, I was wanking out of a Kmart catalogue. Now look at it.
Oh, man. Even too, like, on Tinder, the fucking 20-year-olds look like they're fucking 30. I don't know about... Imagine if makeup didn't exist.
Yeah,
I was thinking they look like children, before. Like what we looked like.
Yeah, it's like... Being a woman is shit at times. Like, I would not like to have a period. Fuck no. That. Oh. But at least if you're ugly, you're alright. If you're ugly as a male, you're fucked. Literally, like, it's just... Until, like... Society's sort of like, men can wear makeup, but it's not accepted outside.
I can protect, I can provide, but this is what I look like. Fucking But yeah, it's even the expectations I think on women nowadays, like with the Instagram and all the other bullshit, it'd be fucking tough.
They all like preach fucking body positive and shit, but then they're also like behind closed doors, like, oh, look at that chick, oh, she just posted that photo, what a dickhead.
Yeah, it's savage,
The fucking world is fucked.
Oh, tell me about it.
Now, I did want to fucking talk about, like, your real estate side of things.
Yeah.
How are we fucking looking there? Obviously, you've got your
So it's changed. So I was in a bit of an accumulation phase. I bought my first place in Kai when I was 19.
So that's fucking pretty good going. Not, like, as 19, I was worried about buying beers the next week, not fucking... buying a house. So.
Yeah, so I come back from China. I went to uni. Come back from China. Might have been just as I turned 20 actually. And yeah, saw this place and I bought it. Then the next year I bought a unit in Shep.
So within like the state of fucking
12 months,
12
I bought
months,
two.
Brought two places.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's good going. I'm surprised the bank even touched you as
because
young as you were.
I was working at Fonterra in Echuca.
So
it was whilst I was at uni. So I was working, and this is probably why I don't have many friends from like the uni phase. Everyone usually goes away to uni. I studied in Shep, but I was working night shifts there, 11 p.m. to 11 a.m.
Yep.
5-6 days a week.
Fuck.
So
is that the set roster? Or is that
so it was 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. But there were always people away on day shift, so they'd split day shift in half.
And just
so a night shift would stay for an extra 4 hours, and someone from Arvo would come in early for an extra 4.
Yep.
And that's how they would cover their roster.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But yeah, there was always work.
Yep.
So
you just
most weeks I'd work 60 hours. So yeah, generally 11 to 11, drive to uni in Shep, have a shower at the uni campus, sleep in the car park, do the shoots and lectures, drive home for a nap, have a cheeky wank, stock up me fucking esky full of...
See, I do the reverse. I have the wank, then have the nap.
Nah.
But that gets your fucking blood going for the shit.
Yeah, you're all worked up and you can't go to sleep.
True, yeah. I'm opposite, but yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, then stock up for fuel and food and yeah, do it all over again. But yeah, so it's probably, really good pay, better than what we're on now, just because I was doing so many hours.
So the second house you bought is the one you're in now.
Correct.
That you've
yeah.
renovated?
So that place, they sold the business and then they locked us out because of union and the EBA agreement and whatnot. So we got locked out. Being a casual, I'd lose my job straight away. Yep. So I went into banking for 2 years to finish off the degree. And sort of started to realise a bit more like the fundamentals of real estate. So I sold the Kai place just because it was a poor investment.
Oh, right, yeah.
So the rent wasn't covering the repayments. It was very negatively geared. The growth wasn't there, and
so you imagine that place would you'd be paying itself easy.
Yeah, but it's the wrong side of the railway track.
Yeah.
So it was just in a poor location as well.
Right. Yep.
Like, it's all good to be negatively geared if it's in a prime spot but it wasn't.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, yeah, sold it. Got back on at the factory where we are now. Went to Greece. Bought the block when we were working together in Powder in Shep, the Ross Allen Drive.
I remember that, yeah.
Within 12 months, I flipped it.
So that was a fucking good buy because that block had been sitting for a fucking
2 years,
long
man.
time
It was
and no one
listed,
scooped it up.
and not everyone was yelling at me like 140 grand for a block. Are you stupid? Why? And you can't buy one for less than 200 now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At the time, it probably was stupid, but you don't make money without taking risks.
100%, and it was in a great location, so that's probably why.
I wonder, why was it not
risk.
built on?
So in that area, there was a channel, and you can sort of see on Google Maps that all the blocks where the channel it was, all the blocks are bigger. So council gave you the option to buy like another 650 squares for like 20 grand.
Yep.
When they backfilled the channel in.
With your own risk of
exactly
something going on.
So the issue with that place was it needed like an extra 20 grand of footings put in.
Yep.
Just because the ground was so loose.
Yeah, right. Fucking dogs are going crazy.
Because of the channel. Is that all right?
I don't know. I've probably seen something go past. They're right.
But yeah, so I bought it.
So they just had to dig down deeper to fucking solve shit.
Just because it was looser ground, and that's half the reason why I got out of there. So they fucked up.
Oh man, that fucking house is gonna move.
And it's rendered because they fucked the bricks up. So it's like do your best and render the rest.
Yeah, I remember that. That's fun.
So and it looked nice.
Oh, it was a nice house, but in 10 years, is it
it's gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
You can't. It's sad to say, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But nah, it's.
I just don't get how building companies now, they just get away with so much shit. Like for yours, for instance, the brickwork was all fucked, and they just
I could stick my car key through the mortar
and pull it out
and pull it out. It's like that's not right.
Yeah, that's fucking pretty bad.
Yeah,
and then just render it, and it's like, oh, it looks good.
Looks good.
Because when I was plastering Simmons homes.
You told me
that. Yeah, we went to one, and the garage fucking like the part that holds the garage roller door was in like fucking 60 mil. I think it was like fucking out like heaps. I was like, fuck, how are they gonna fix that? And then come back the next day, and it was done. I was like, that's sketchy. Yeah, it was like, what the fuck.
Yeah, so I think the whole build was about 380, maybe 20 grand in, the fittings that Shano did, like the fans and the downlights and the pendants and a bit of landscaping. But yeah, walked out of there with, a bit over 100k in profit with that one. So bear in mind, like I've moved into the unit that I bought when I was 21, the one in Shep.
Yep.
And just been doing it up whilst the place around the corner gets built.
Yeah, that's fucking banging.
Yeah, no, it'd be good to be a stone's throw away, have a few beers, and
can even go to the gym together, mate.
Yeah, 100%.
Get my ass count in the gear. So, what did you do with if you don't mind me asking, the money that you made from a profit? Where do you throw that? Where would a smart Peko man throw that?
So, I think all in all, bear in mind there was money that you put in with your deposit and everything, like sales proceeds. I think there's a breakdown of 190. So I've got 50 of it still.
Yep. I
put 20 into the loan of the unit, 20 in renovation, so that's 40. Call it 90.
But see, that unit it's.
So I bought it for 177, and it's worth about 310 to 330.
Yeah,
now
exactly. It's fucked.
So it's
and because of it's right behind the hospital.
Exactly.
It's like some little Asian doctor's gonna walk in, I
see doctors walk past all the time.
Yeah, it's right there. You'll probably get more than what it's valued at.
I hope so,
for sure.
But 20 loan. Call it 40 plus a 50. Then I invested in a business, a local business that makes beer. We'll keep the name quiet.
Yeah.
But,
so how the fuck does someone just be like, here's like whatever you put in, let's say 50 grand. How the fuck do you even go about that?
So I've got like a certificate saying how many shares that I own.
Yep.
So there's me and another guy. No idea who the other guy is.
Yeah, right.
But pretty much they just want to do a capital raise. Or we'll go back a step. Being sort of newish to Shep, I didn't know many people. And it was a local place that I sort of, made it a bit of a haunt. I'd go there, at least once a week. And, you know, I saw potential, just the way that they operated, and, you know, sort of being like that money business minded.
Yeah.
I love the way that they were doing things. And I said, look, if you ever needed like someone to get behind you, I'd love the opportunity to
The
be a
best
part
bit
of
is
it.
they wouldn't have expected it from a young person.
Exactly.
Like yourself. They would have
Exactly.
been like,
So I think the other guy's
"What,
like
you
a
gonna give us $2
retired
grand,
copper.
yeah, yeah.
And that's why he wants like his privacy, like,
yeah.
you know.
No, that's fair enough.
Which
yeah.
is fair, but pretty much the money was going towards like a bigger brew kit. And I saw one night it was absolutely pumping, and one of the owners was sitting at the back eating 2-minute noodles on mee goreng out of like a, you know, that glass measuring cup that your nan has?
yeah.
And I'm like, these guys are fucking, you know, full on, and look what's happening.
They'd
like,
rather eat out of that than
yeah, exactly,
a bowl.
And it's like, when you donate money to like a non-for-profit, it's like how much is actually going to the actual cause. It's like you'll generally find like the CEO of a non-for-profit drives like a Maserati. It's like,
yeah, that's why the cunts that stand out the front of the supermarket and they catch every time they come in.
Yeah,
I said to her the other day, I said, look, no offense, but you know, you'll hear about heart disease and failure. How much, like, are you volunteering or are you getting paid? Because like, if you're fucking getting paid, as if I'm gonna fucking give you like it was $1 a day.
yeah,
Like, it's fuck all. But if fucking, you know, 150,000 people do $1 a day,
it's a bit of
it's
money.
a fucking bit of money. And I was like, how much are you getting? Like, if you're volunteering, good on you. Like, that's fucking great.
Yeah,
but
what's the CEO of the business get?
yeah,
You know
it's,
what
like,
I mean? It's like,
how much goes to the actual fucking cure?
100%.
So I agree with that. It's fucking.
But
wrong.
yeah, I just saw how hard they were working. Then the opportunity actually come up. So I think they said during like their presentation that they did, like a pre-seed or an angel investor, that there were 27 people that inquired. Out of that 27, they approached 10. So
Yeah.
they sort of vetted the
Vented
people.
through, yeah.
And only 2 of us sort of put our
Do
money
you-
where our mouth was.
Do you have to fucking prove like that you've got money or anything?
It was cash only.
Yeah.
So it was either the money goes in the account or you're
Fine.
talking shit we don't want to know about.
Yeah.
So, but nah, it's you know, the opportunity was there. A lot of people were, you know, thinking, oh, and to be honest, you know, the beer doesn't. It's a craft beer, so it's not going to appeal to everyone.
Taste. Yeah.
But you know,
At the end of the day, it's still a
Exactly.
local business.
100%.
It's better than pumping it into a fucking.
and you know, I'd rather put something that I believe in, you know, than to. Yeah.
The thing is, like, you're taking a risk, but it may fucking pay off fucking crazy, and
Well,
you'll
if-
be retired fucking 30 years before I am. You never
Yeah,
know.
like if I wanted to, I think I'd be able to take my money out and have it doubled.
Yep.
Where it stands now, like
Oh, okay, yeah,
it's doing very well.
Yep. So what, like, they don't pay you back on, say, like a yearly basis?
No.
or anything like
It's
that?
not like I receive a dividend. It's
It's like,
if they would ever sell out or if I was to ask for a payout.
yep.
Yeah.
See, that's pretty interesting. Like, you know, in 25 years, you could be like, fuck me, they're worth, like, let's say $4 million.
Well, you know, I think the idea is to get bought out by the likes of a CUB or a Lion or a Fermentum, like a bigger business.
Yeah.
Because you think, why would a bigger brewery buy a smaller one? It's because they're not only buying the brewery and the names of the beers that are brewed there, they're also buying their ties. So just say...
Dan Murphy's. Or...
Exactly. So the easier ones to get into, you know, your Dan Murphy's, your First Choice, your Celebrations, and the likes of your Chas Cole. But for instance, if someone was to have a tie to like an Aldi,
Yeah.
and they haven't been able to get a foot in an Aldi store,
Yeah, that's
go
where it
after
goes.
their business. So you've already got a way in,
Yeah.
so to speak. But
Let's say you
also-
got fucking 6 beers and they're selling in every shop. It's like, well, I've got a foot in Aldi. Let's fucking blow this one up. It's going to be good for their... Like, they're going to get money in, but I'm going to get fucking
100%.
a lot of fucking money.
And not only that, like you're also buying like the distribution network. So you think sort of every sort of brewery's got a means of distributing their alcohol.
Yeah.
So even if you're not in Victoria, Northern Victoria, by buying a brewery in that area,
Yep.
you know.
So do they brew and can and everything out of there?
So it was a
area?
bit tough, but the brew kit now will definitely, it's to scale. So when you expand a business, your cost of goods will generally drop. So for you to make, I don't know, 3 cakes in your house, it would cost you $10 a cake for your cake mixture. But if you were to buy a cake factory, you can make 10,000 at $1 each. You know what I mean? So the bigger you go, the cheaper it gets, so to speak.
You've just got to spend that money to
exactly.
get there.
There's a lot more capital that's involved, and more strings to pull.
It's definitely cool. Like fucking, I'd like him to invest, but I just don't even know how to get into it. You know,
I'll get you there, man. Hey, when I'm around the corner, like I really want to get into day trading eventually, or even intraday, like on our days off, and swing trade, which is you buy and hold for a bit longer.
Yep. See, I fucking bought crypto.
How'd that go for you?
It's not real good. So currently, it's bad. So
you got another beer?
Mm-hmm. What do you want the same one?
Oh yeah, that was delicious. Bonehead.
Actually, no, I don't have another yippee-ki-yay. But we'll try. Alright.
Chew.
Yeah, that yippee-ki-yay is good, eh? From Bonehead.
Yeah, very nice.
Next beer is...
Sponsor the podcast, boys.
Yeah, official sponsor the podcast. If you get back to us, look, it'll be great. Bonehead Bonafide. Is that Bonafide?
Bonafide. Bonafide.
LA. West Coast IPA.
Oh, yeah.
2 standard drink. Actually, talking of fucking strength of alcohol, did you see what that pub was serving the other night?
What
that
pub?
You did your fucking comedy thing?
Yeah, so that's the best thing. So you're finding... So I've started doing stand-up. I don't know if you want to get into that at some stage.
Yeah, I actually... Like, on that topic, Peko has started doing stand-up. He's done 2 gigs so far. And he wouldn't tell us where he was because he just got a bit fucking shy. So I spent literally fucking all day calling every motherfucker I knew in Bendigo to be like, where would do stand-up comedy? Ended up finding this place, and I'm like, it has to be it. Fucking, if he's not there, it's going to be shit. We fucking rock up.
3 blokes in a work van drive all the way to Bendigo.
We fucking rock
for
up.
5 minutes of me telling jokes.
Good mates, mate. That's what we are.
Yeah, and I really appreciate. I gave you all 3 of you a hug, and I really did appreciate it.
It was good, but like, your face when we walked in was the best because we walked in and you're just like, oh, g'day, like you saw like another person come to watch the show, and then you like noticed it was us, and your face just dropped. You're like, fuck you, cunt. That was fucking good, but yeah, actually you did really well.
Thanks, man.
We know you've got that confidence, so
yeah, I think it's just I've always been good at public speaking, but it's always sort of been structured, like whether you do like a public speaking at school or whatever, you know, reading off a sheet of paper. But to write a joke, you might think it's funny. See, I've read a lot of things through you.
Which is good. That's a good thing to do.
But yeah, it's I think it was probably good that you guys did calm in a sense. Like Ash Greblow, who was the headliner, he practiced a few new jokes.
He used it as a practice.
Yeah, leading up to the Melbourne Comedy Festival. But he said I had a good set, but it's like you get 30% better laughs when things are topical. But yeah, it's finding something that hits to appeal to most of the audience.
That's what I found was like, say your inspirations are what, like Joey Diaz, fucking people that don't give a fuck. And then some of the jokes you told, you could sense in the audience that didn't hit everyone. But I don't give a fuck, so I don't care about swearing or blah, blah, blah. It was funny. But you could sense that around the audience there was people that were just like, did he really just like, say cunt or whatever? Like,
or the tranny jokes.
Yeah,
or actually, what they say about the condoms. Like the ruler in a condom box isn't just for length, but for fucking girth.
Yeah.
Which means that I qualify to have an extra large condom despite having a small dick. And the 3 guys in the front were like, oh shit.
That was, and the way like you described your dick and that was good. That was a fucking good joke. And like you said, I think it was good that we went because it was either you do it in Bendigo and like be comfortable, and then you get to Shep, and people are gonna go. Like if they know that you're there,
100%.
people are gonna go, and then you're just gonna be fucked. So
yeah, and like the new venue that's opening, you know, they want to do a lot more stand up live music, but yeah, they want to do stand up like once a month, and they sort of got a hold, and they're like, I've heard you've been doing it. Do you know a few people? And said, yeah, I'm getting a bit of a contact list together. They said, do you want to be a part of it? Like,
yeah.
Whether it be like a non-paid regular or a host or something.
You got to start somewhere.
100%, man.
Like I was surprised. We like on the way there, we were like, it's gonna be funny because we know that you're confident. You only got to look at when you go out and you try and fucking pick up birds. And it goes terribly, by the way. But he will try and shoot his shot. But it's definitely like I was definitely proud of you. Like you did fucking really well. It was good. But I think it definitely helped that the people before you.
Oh, they suck.
Fuck me, man. They suck.
And they were that bad at the Raw comedy, the competition that Triple J host.
Yep.
They were that bad then.
Oh, so they were there too.
They were there, except one guy had a water pistol in his shoe, and so he was like, imagine if Spider-Man shot from his foot, and then he shot his foot at the audience and squirted milk.
What the fuck?
Dude, that was funny, because everyone's like, that's so messy. But the other guy sucked.
That first guy, I thought he was just like, if I didn't catch the start of the show where they introduced him and shit, I would have thought it was just some drunk cunt that grabbed the mic and was trying to tell a story about him and his missus going to the splash park. It was fucking horrible.
Oh, it was...
And not a single laugh that whole 5 minutes.
But I was actually waiting for the punchline. I couldn't... It was fluid, but there wasn't a pause or like there was nothing that said...
Yeah, all he said was like, you know, we ended up going to the splash park with the kid. And I was just like, yeah, I get it. Like, you know,
that's
whatever.
why I think he left.
Yeah.
Because he had dreads like Pete.
Yeah.
And then Ash said,
they called him,
my God, like, you know, 2 blonde dreads, like, where's the weed at, you know?
Yeah, that's fucking...
Yeah, he bombed hard.
He was not real good. The second bloke was...
Worse? I would say worse.
No, I wouldn't say worse.
Really?
A couple of his jokes were pretty funny, but his vibe that he threw off was weird. Because when he stood up, I thought, not that it's a problem, but I thought he had like a disability or something. I think
he still does. I think he's got like Asperger's or autism or something.
I thought he might pick on that and it'd be like, you know, pretty funny. But
there was a guy,
there was
a guy at the first, at Raw, that got through to Melbourne because he actually had Asperger's and he was legally blind.
If you won that,
you go to Melbourne, and if you win Melbourne, then you go to the Melbourne Comedy Festival for a final. And then you compete against all the other states. So like WA, New South Wales, like they all bring a couple.
Yep.
And then, there's a winner out of that. Shit. And I think you get a ticket to go somewhere from there.
Jesus. Yeah.
Right.
So that virtually could make your fucking careering.
Exactly.
Comedy.
But there's a lot of people that have won Raw that, and it's sad. Like,
look at the bloke that did Australia's Got Talent. Can't remember his name. He's on TikTok, but like he lost to a kid that was dancing or something. Yeah. But now like he gets like 200-300 likes on TikTok. Like it's not much when you look at his following's like 80,000 people, but you know it's like fuck, you really dropped off the radar.
Exactly. People drop off for one. People who win aren't necessarily the funniest, but their jokes are just the most like socially accepted. Yeah. So for the jokes that I'm hitting, I'll never get through.
No, because they're touching subjects. Like you'll end up like Chris Rock.
Wait, what? I said it. I was thinking of a joke today in the gym about that. And it doesn't, because alopecia is an autoimmune disease. But I was thinking like, you know, Jada lost her hair because of alopecia. Alopecia is caused by stress. The stress that was caused was because she cheated on her husband. If you don't cheat on your husband, you get to keep your hair, bitch. Or imagine being in a domestic violence relationship and your husband slapping the hair off your head. You know, trying to...
You can't do that. You can't do that second
But that's the thing though, like, obviously some women lose hair. I think she looks hot with a shaved head, by the way. There's a goth chick that I follow on Instagram.
She wouldn't be fucking with Will if Tupac was still alive.
Bro.
She was literally, even now, like, there's interviews of her fucking frothing over Tupac. So, she's fucked.
But yeah, it's,
Peko brought fucking donuts.
Fucking oath I did.
So, Tanner, lift your fucking game, cunt. You're a shit co-host. You don't even bring anything. I gotta fucking buy the beer most of the
time. But yeah, it's, I don't know. He looks like a bit of a dick. Like, he reacted, I think, poorly.
The fucking joke, laughed.
He laughed. But, and you would know this as well. When someone's girlfriend doesn't like it and then the boyfriend or the husband's forced to fly the flag.
Yeah.
You know what
That's what I think. If he sat back... Sorry, I'm eating a fucking donut, by the way. If he sat back straight away and was like, that's not on, like his facial expression was blank.
Come on,
I'd be
bro.
like, yeah, like, righto.
Wait till you win the award and then say in your speech, like, Chris Rock, do it again, I'm going to slap the shit out of you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A bit, like, yeah, violence isn't the option when you're a fucking celebrity.
But I mean, a slap? Imagine if Chris Rock just come back with like a flying elbow, like UFC, just choked him.
But imagine if he closed fisted him, it would have been like fucking 10 times worse than what it is.
Yeah. It was a good slap though.
Yeah.
Fucking oath it was a good slap.
You can show that he thought about it because he did an open hand.
The pause and then the...
But yeah, I think if I was in his situation, obviously like I'm a celebrity, I wouldn't do it. It's backwards. And then he gets up and does this acceptance speech, apologizes to the academy, but doesn't like say anything to Chris. It's like, cunt, you don't care. And then he apologized later on Instagram. What a joke.
Yeah, it's apparently they're like in a open relationship or some bullshit.
Open because she cheated, and that's just the way it's going.
And that's the way it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he talks like she's my queen and everything, but you don't get that reciprocation. Like it's very one-sided, that relationship.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Publicly, it is. Yeah. Yeah, she wouldn't have fucking jumped on some other cunt's cock if she fucking loved him, you know.
Yeah, that's it. And like maybe it was on a different podcast because I listened to a few poddies. Apparently, women cheat because of like the. Not the physical, like the emotional.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't there. Maybe that's why he's being so emotional now. I don't know.
You've also got to you've got to look at the aspect of he might be doing let's say 5-6 movies a year.
Different scenes everywhere,
and he's like kissing birds, fucking birds, blah blah blah, whatever. He could be working 60-70 hours a week, and he's just not at home, but. When you look at, like, if you just sit down and be like, fuck, look at what we're living in, blah, blah, blah. It's sort of, if he gets a month off a year, let's do that. There's no communication, even, like, a general relationship. Like
even now, like, sort of going back to, you know, we're sort of like the last ones of the restoring and the last of a lot of things.
So it's not common to have a long relationship now.
And it scares the fuck out of... Like, I'd love to have kids one day. But the likelihood of that...
With that person.
For long term, you know? And then on the flip side, you know, like a lot of people who have those relationships, they have a kid, then the kid's then used as a pawn. And that's pretty fucked up, like in the grand schemes of things. Like, you know?
It definitely is. Like, I'm pretty lucky in the relationship I've got with the... mother of my child, like she doesn't do that or anything like that. We get along alright, even though we're not together. But
and the boys give you shit, but deep down, you know, it's pretty good. Like for the best possible scenario, I think you've got for that situation.
Oh, definitely, yeah,
100%.
There's women out there that just will use you for everything you got, but then there's blokes out there that don't give a fuck about their kids and blah 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 too.
Yeah.
So like. Goes both ways, but I personally couldn't go without my daughter. I fucking, you know.
I love it. And we see, like, I think that's probably what sort of made me put it into perspective because for a long time I was like, nah, fuck kids. But then, you know, like my little brother Charlie, there's a 15-year age gap there.
Yeah, which is a fucking lot of...
Oh, 100%. Like, when I was, in year 11, I'm changing nappies. It's fucking gross. Like, it's a two-man job.
But I'm 9 years to my older brother, and even that's weird enough, so...
But, yeah, like, seeing him grow up and seeing how, you know, you look after your daughter, it'd be good, you know? Like, I think that's a part of life.
For us, it's like I said to Tanner. Tanner come to me and when he found out that Tegan was pregnant, and he sort of panicked a bit. I said, dude, you're not missing out on anything. You don't go out every weekend.
Exactly.
You don't fucking party. It's
What's the difference?
You're just at home with a kid. But I'm like, as they start to grow and they start to talk and shit, you don't even fucking think of what your life was like before. It's like, holy fuck, you're living in that moment. Like, this is sick. But
fucking know.
Yeah, imagine, like, if you went out every weekend, you were travelling everywhere, like yourself, you travel a fair bit. Maybe you might miss it. I don't know. But there's no reason you can't travel with a child.
And that's the thing, too. Like, I think the next... So, what, 26? You're 26 too, aren't you?
Yeah, 27 this year.
Yeah, same. I think probably...
But I don't plan on having any more kids, so...
Yeah, okay.
I'm happy with the one. So while you're doing this shit now, when I'm fucking, 40, 50, I'll fucking do what you're doing.
Travel with, your daughter when she's 10 or 11. Like, I feel if you're going to travel, you want to have them old enough that they can establish those memories.
Yeah, yeah.
Like going on a...
it's true, because if you think
an 11-hour flight to Europe, dude, and there's 17 fucking babies crying. It's like, I just want to break them.
Yeah, if she's like 13, 14.
And they're not going to remember it anyway.
Nah.
It's like, do it when they're at a sensible age that they can actually look back and think, fuck, Dad took me to Italy and we jumped in, in the ocean in Cinque Terre and we ate fresh fucking seafood. And
fucking I agree with that. That's fucking 100% true.
Yeah.
It's... Yeah, one of them things, everyone's fucking different, but I definitely don't regret having kids, and because of me cancer and that sort of stuff, I've really had no fucking choice to either have a kid now or not, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't fucking take it back.
What are your thoughts of the male pill? Seems to
great.
I can't wait,
so
dude.
Good.
I can't wait.
It's such a good idea because, like, what I don't know, what are the side effects?
It's the same, similar to women, except their tits don't get bigger. I
don't need bigger titties.
I'm working on a joke for that anyway, but it's weight gain, acne. But
if it works,
sexual drive might lack or increase depending on the person. Not sure about the hormone side effects.
Yeah,
because I know a lot of people. There's a bit of a movement. Like a lot of women are sort of pulling away because of the hormone aspect of it all, tricking your body to be pregnant all the time. I think that's what theirs does. But,
they don't have their period if they're on the pill.
Yeah.
And stuff. I think they
do get it. Yeah.
They can trigger it when they sort of
to take the sugar ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking not really. I probably should be being fucking 26.
But I think it'd be good, especially you see a lot of people, or you hear of it, getting trapped.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's especially like I'd love to have a kid on my terms.
Let's say, like, in a position like we are, like, we've got, 110 plus K jobs. And you meet someone that's real good, but, they know that. I think that's probably the worst part, because they're like, right, he'll pay for the kid. No, I want a kid before I turn, say, 30.
Yeah.
I think that's it. And I'm not saying there's probably a trigger warning for fucking women listening. I'm not saying all women are like this, but there are women out there that do that sort of shit. But...
Oh, 100%.
I think if you've got your own choice not to, it'd be great. But then everyone's like, oh, you got your own choice, don't fucking come in them. But it's like, that's the best bit. the end of sex is like the best fucking
I think the joke that I'm sort of leaning towards, it's like, you know how hard it is to pull out of a woman? Well, it's pretty easy when you know that there's 18 years of child support attached to the end of it.
Yeah, literally.
But it's sort of like... it'd be, I'd love to be, you'd want to be with someone for like 3 to 5 years before having a kid.
Oh yeah, for sure. Literally, if you weren't with someone, you don't really know what you're like until you're living together, and it's 100%. Like a long time. Because like the first few dates are great. you fuck, blah, blah, blah. You might like that, blah,
That
blah.
honeymoon period.
Yeah.
It wears off, though.
It does,
for sure.
yeah, fuck yeah. But that's just natural, I think. It's just like you end up being the person you always were, and they end up being the person they always were, and it's like you meet in the middle and it's good, but yeah, it's like you said, you got to wait a while before you fucking have kids. It's like if you were pregnant 3 months in, I wouldn't recommend it anyway, because you don't know what that person's like.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like, there's sort of like fundamental things. Like I think the last couple that I've had a thing with, I don't know if I'm just naturally leaning towards them, but it's like nurses, like they're shift workers as well, so they understand us.
Yeah.
But to be a nurse or a caregiver, like you got to be compassionate to some extent.
As a shift worker, I don't reckon as a shift worker you can date another shift worker.
Oh,
unless
it worked when their rosters were together, but when they went to opposites, it was like, what's the point?
Strangers.
You know what I mean?
They're sleeping on night shifts. You're away. I think you become strangers, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's
few people at our work together. I couldn't do that.
I couldn't do it either.
That'd do my head in. Go to work, come home, and you're there 24/7.
If you're in a different department, it could work.
Yeah,
but I couldn't work on the floor with
the
same
person.
Oh man!
Like, let's say not anymore, but when I was a leading hand, if I had to be in charge of like your missus,
and they would fuck up.
Yeah, it'd just be.
It's like, how do you escalate this? You know, or you get the drug test because you fucked up.
And then they lose their job because you fucking smoke fucking pot on the weekend or whatever.
Yeah, it's tough. But,
it's tough in general, just being a leading hand at like a shift worker. Like it's fucking, because you are the fucking person that can fuck shit up.
And that's the thing. Like, we're in charge of our own areas, despite being in different areas of the factory. But if we fuck up, the chain of supply is fucked up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
because they rely on us so much.
Like the other day, I didn't fuck up, but I noticed the fuck up, and that put us down for 2 days, and then that stopped Jews. You just had a day of no production.
Yeah.
Like, because of what I noticed.
But that was good because it was a quality issue.
Yeah.
And we know that there have been times that have been questionable where there's been don't pull the safety card. Dude, that pissed me off so much.
There's been.
I sort of wish I broke my leg.
Well,
a 2-year holiday at 80% pay would be pretty fucking good.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, I was your boss at that time.
Yeah, that's true.
And I told you not to do it, and you still did it. So, but it's like I would have been shit talked for sure. Like that I found that sort of thing, and that I would have went around blah blah blah. He'd said that. I guarantee it's just the way it is.
But it's just it's toxic in ways, and it's just like you grow to learn to have a thick skin. Like, you can't have a thin skin in that sort of environment. 80-90% male, middle age or older.
What is your view on like equal pay for men and women?
It depends on the role. I don't agree with equal pay for like the Australian Open. For instance, like guys will play 5 sets and women play 3.
Yeah.
Max.
I can agree with that, because women AFL and men AFL, you watch women AFL.
The quality.
Let them play. It's great that they're playing, but it's fucking shit to watch.
Even the caliber though, like there was, I think it was a 300 or 400 seed player, a male player, trained with one of the Williams sisters and beat her in straight sets.
Yeah.
Like a 300 or 400.
Yeah. Better.
Beat a number 1. So even the caliber of skill, but I mean, if you're not working the exact amount,
why should it be equal? Yeah, I agree. Like, if you're working an office job 9 to 5, but old mates laying in fucking silos, welding them together in fucking 45-degree heat, and then welding on top of it, you shouldn't get the same pay as a boilermaker.
And that's the thing though, like,
because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to enforce, like, I'm a boilermaker, but I work in an office, but I want the same pay as he gets.
A guy who might
he's in a tank,
starve of oxygen and die.
Yeah, it's like, well, go fucking be a Boilermaker.
Exactly.
There's nothing stopping you.
Yes, move out of payroll and actually get in the silo with him. And that's probably the thing where we work, where it's levels, and everyone's generally like a level 3, and then you go to 4, but
they don't give, like, because you're a woman, they're like, oh no, we'll give you a fucking 4 or whatever. Like,
it's pretty even.
Yeah, it works. Good. There's women that work at our work that earn more than we do.
Oh, 100%. So, and they deserve it because they've got more skills.
Yeah.
And women, I feel, credit to them, they're a bit more articulate, like as far as like their paperwork and going over everything and proofreading their own work.
Yeah.
Where we'll sign off on something like, but they'll actually go the extra mile.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that's why our quality department's so good. Like, it's, got a lot of women in it.
Mm.
And they all deserve their jobs and more.
For sure. In my opinion. At the end of the day, they can annoy us. Quality can annoy us, but at the end of the day,
that's their job.
If they're not there, like, our product's shit.
Yeah.
And we're not earning money, so technically they're fucking very well, like, needed. Yeah. But
no, definitely. 100% agree with you, dude.
Yeah, it's one of them things, I suppose, but can become a pain.
Yeah.
I did want to fucking touch on, like, obviously you've travelled a fair bit. I haven't left Australia, but one day hopefully I can.
We'll do a trip. Can we plan a trip, like, whether it be next year or the year after, like, actually, we'll do a week or two away.
If I've got a goal, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But if I don't, like, have anything that I need to plan, I was just like, meh.
Whatever, I feel like if we, because I'm planning on a big year next year.
See, I wanted to go to Ukraine, but that went wrong.
You want to see Chernobyl, but fucking Putin's already taken that shit.
So this was way before. This has been like 4 years in the making that I should have done it, but now fucking Putin's gone and fucked it.
Yeah. Gee whiz.
But what countries have you gone to, and fucking where are we going this year?
So, I went to New Zealand with the family ages ago. Oh, before then, you do your typical fucking Queensland trip, the white Aussie dream holiday to Queensland.
My mum and dad like that, though.
3-park super pass.
They've been fucking everywhere in Australia, like all over.
They didn't take you, did they?
No, they did. We've been all over Australia, but they won't leave Australia. I was like, and Dad's like, there's plenty to fucking see in Australia. I'm like, yeah, but there's cool places overseas, like fucking way cooler than here.
So, went to New Zealand, then went to China with uni. Studied over in China, which was pretty sick.
How the fuck do you study in China if you don't speak Chinese?
It was a bit of a flog. Like, we studied at CUFI, Central University of Finance and Economics. It was like Beijing, sort of like Canberra, just circles. And we're in like the third circle. Like, circle 1 is like the Forbidden City.
Yep.
And everything sort of circles around it. So we're like in a real expensive part of Beijing, and Beijing's like their political capital as well. But yeah, we studied 2 subjects over the summer break, it would have been, because it was winter over there. Fucking cold. But it was like international marketing and international management. But the thing is, a lot of the lecturers in China are actually like from England or the UK or Australia even. Yeah, so it was pretty easy to.
So they teaching in English.
They've got they know Chinese or Mandarin or whatever the fuck it is.
Yep.
But as well as English, which helped us. And we hit the piss pretty hard whilst we were over there, and it was awesome. Like, I'd probably go back there. I don't know what terms it would be on. Probably see like where the business things go and if there are ventures, because all of like the international like expos are held there. Sort of like SEMA is held in Vegas, but it's sort of that, but for everything else, whether it be IT or, desks or anything, But yeah, went to China, went to Ireland for St. Paddy's Day. That was a quick trip. I got strip searched at the airport.
See, I can go to fucking Ireland because I've got friends that live there.
Yeah, go to dude. St. Paddy's Day.
$1,100. Even if it wasn't St. Paddy's Day, but $1,100 to get there and back. Yeah, I could stay there, say a week.
Pretty good.
It'd be fucking sick, and that's like cheap holiday. It'd be fucking banging.
100%.
I gotta get my passport. That's the biggest thing.
Went to Croatia. Did Croatia and Italy.
What What happened at the fucking Coliseum? Didn't you fucking...
So, our Italy trip, it was a Kentucky tour. It was shit. So it was 12 days around Italy. You pretty much spent 8 hours in a bus and then 1 day somewhere and then back in a bus. So
That'd be shit.
it was shit.
Yeah.
So we were like, fuck this. We're just going to hit the piss.
Yep.
Um,
Sleep on the bus.
Sleep on the bus, like the farts, dude.
Did they have a toilet on the bus?
Fuck no.
Oh,
dude. But yeah, if they had a toilet, I would have destroyed it anyway. But
So what, you had to hold on to your shit till you
yeah,
stopped,
but we
or?
stopped a fair bit.
Ah, that's alright.
But yeah, the Coliseum, it was like we had to be up at 6 o'clock to beat the line. The Coliseum, thousands of people go there every day.
Yeah.
So like, fuck this. So we actually went the day after at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was all illuminated. No one was there. We walked around it. And me and this American dude were like, you want to fucking hop in? So we go up to jump over the fence, but the fences were like weighted and an alarm triggers, like
Is
when
this
there's any
like-
weight on the fence.
Are we talking like main gate fence, or are we talking like
They're
halfway
like
back
the
fence, or-
Coliseum, like probably 2/3 of it are okay, but the rest are like ruins.
Yeah.
So the rest is like fenced.
Yep. So
But
where
their
did
security is like A class.
Yeah, so-
not the main gate. Like sure we were pissed, but we were a bit smarter.
Yeah,
to like
that's what I was wondering. Like,
jump the
did you
fence
hit
where
the
there's a
main-
shadow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, right.
And then the police came, but like we'd fucked off by then. But
Was that at the point like you jumped on the gate and it went off? Or?
yeah, the lights and everything lit up.
Oh god.
Like they would have got me face for sure, but it's like no tattoos
yeah.
at that stage. I'm just a greasy tourist.
But even if with
You know?
tattoos, you'd still be a greasy tourist. It'd be
exactly.
Like, yeah. So how do you, like, if you jumped over, what were you gonna do? Jump back? Or
I just wanted like iPhone lights, like just fucking
Have a look
suss it
around.
all
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Like we weren't gonna steal anything.
Nah,
it was like
but-
fucking.
But there are people that would. But,
100%. Yeah.
Fuck, that's pretty fun. Imagine getting arrested in a foreign country.
Oh, dude.
It'd be fucked up. It'd be so bad. Italy, not so bad because
It'd still be bad. You know, if you get arrested, whether it be drugs or anything, I think you've got like a 5 or 7 year ban that you can't go to any of the European Union countries,
Oh yeah,
which is a lot.
yeah. Fuck.
But yeah, fucking
That's-
sketchy.
Yeah, that's
Haven't done
fucking
many
lucky.
sketchy things overseas. I think China sort of taught us that early on, sort of being one of the first countries, and you can't really step out of
You
line
step out
over
of
there
line,
because
yeah.
you're fucked.
Oh, if
Like,
you
you
get done
actually
with drugs,
are
cunt,
fucked.
boom, see you later. You're
Like
dead.
a couple of the nightclubs we went to, you could smell weed,
Yep.
but it's like you wouldn't try and find that person because it sort of like they dob you in for the laugh of it.
Yeah.
It's like, ha, you're fucked. But to us, it's like our lives are over. Like
Yeah.
14 years in a mainland jail.
If that, sometimes they kill you. Like,
Yeah.
they've
Well,
got death
that's-
penalty still.
The death penalty, but even they're saying a lot of these people who were going on strike in like Hong Kong and getting sent to mainland China to some prison, they're either peeling garlic for export, peeling garlic with their fucking... You know how much fucking
It'd be
garlic
a-
you could peel every fucking day of your life?
It'd be shit.
Or that's where like the human organs, like trafficking human organs, they were
Come
hard.
from.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you want a liver and an eye? Like
It
a
would
cornea?
not fucking surprise me
Boy,
at all.
you know...
Yep.
give them a needle and start hacking their body apart. Like,
That wouldn't fucking surprise
no,
me.
I
one
do.
bit, eh?
There's a
Technically,
lot of
it's not a
propaganda.
bad idea.
Fuck no.
If you've got a life sentence.
I think you can butcher a body from one of the things that I watch on YouTube. It's like it's worth about 200 grand
Yeah.
US.
Yeah.
So you think like a
Fucking
jail who's got all
400,
these
yeah.
people who are in there for life. It's like,
Yeah, it's pointless.
let's do it.
Yeah. It's kind of, in the sense of like someone like, say, a person that's like volunteered to a church all their life and they've got heart disease. You've got some cunt in jail that isn't going to get out.
Yeah.
Borrow his heart. Like,
Exactly.
It's kind of fair, but they wouldn't be playing like that either. They'd be like, oh, the
no.
black market. Fuck yeah. That's why they're all fucking
Totally
rich.
agree with you, man. And I feel like a lot of Australians who are on like a register to get a lung or a liver or something, it's like if you have money, you can get one.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah.
You just got to go to the right place.
Yeah. You can buy nearly everything.
And it's not like the government spying on us. Like there are conspiracies. Like you actually can.
Yeah.
You just got to go to like
you can
a
buy
communist
a pistol
country.
on the black market in Australia. It costs you $50,000 just for a pistol.
50.
But like fuck me, if you had
I'd pay
millions of
10.
dollars.
I'd pay 10.
Well, $50,000 with no markings or anything is probably pretty good if you were going to shoot someone. But
It's probably shot like 13 people.
yeah, before you.
It shoots straight. Just don't get caught with it.
When you could make your own if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard. But so you've been to China, Croatia, Italy,
Ireland.
Where
else? There's more.
But this year you're going to what?
Oh, this year, so just northern Queensland for 12 days after our snow trip.
Oh, it's after it, is it?
Yeah, so 28th to the 30th of June snow trip. Jim Jeffries is in Melbourne, so I'm going to that comedy. So from the 5th to the 17th, Cairns, Airlie Beach, Magnetic Island. Come back on the 17th, leave on the 20th to go to Hungary, Budapest, Vienna, Austria, and then Prague. Leave Prague to go to Tomorrowland in Boom, Belgium.
Wild.
So it's been paid for since 2019.
Yeah, but COVID.
COVID, yeah. So I'm going with Andy from WA, who I met on South Croatia.
So he's still going, is he?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a twin pass. It costs us like $6,000, so $3,000 a piece for 4 days.
And then that's not including spending money, is it?
Nah, that's private flights, accommodation, VIP.
That's pretty cheap, actually. Like when you think about it.
Yeah.
It depends.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they've got their own currency. They do like pearls. So a pearl is like €1.50, so like $3 Australian.
Which they can, because how many? 1 million people or more.
Like there's 200,000 go each week, and there's 3 weeks, so 600,000 people.
So yeah, they can run their own currency.
They can. Yeah. So and it's all cash too. If you're a robber, you target Tomorrowland.
Fuck that.
Like the heist or something. Yeah.
It'd be a cool experience for sure.
Yeah, but I'd love to do more. It's just like where the wars are at. Like I'd love to do Sail Turkey and Colour Festival in Albania, but
well, they reckon Turkey's not a real good place to visit it if you're a tourist.
Yeah, exactly. You just get one for yourself, mate.
Oh, do you want one?
Fucking know.
That's 4 standard drinks, son.
Line the stomach.
We'll have to fucking go get fucking dins. What is it?
We'll have to go get food at some stage.
Fuck, it's $8.50.
$7.50. Fucking mum's called me 3 times.
Might have to be fucking pizza, mate.
Chew. Yeah, fucking oath. Yeah, so.
But no, that's fucking. I'd definitely travel more if the.
I think your first trip, you got to travel with someone who's travelled a bit. That's probably the one thing I sort of wish I did.
That's my thing too. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'll happily go to fucking Ukraine just because I want to see Chernobyl, but I also don't want to fucking get murdered.
You don't want to die
myself,
either.
like, especially me.
Where else would you want to travel?
America is like my.
I'd love to go to the US.
Fucking, I want to go to America.
Like for Burning Man, or when
never heard of it.
Burning Man, it's like in the Arizona desert. It's like an 8-day festival where it's just hippies, and then you burn this fucking. There's statues everywhere.
Yeah, right.
People, I think everyone just eats mushrooms. Like,
yeah, right.
I'm trying to avoid all that.
No,
but
I'll do mushies. Let's bring our Australian mushies over. They probably got better drugs than we do.
Rushy special.
Where do you reckon the best drugs are that you've been around the world?
No. You can't ask me this.
I can. I did.
You know my situation. Like, I moved out of home 18 months ago, and I sort of went off the rails a bit. Like, with COVID...
off the rails a bit. Like I'd Coke every weekend.
No, it wasn't every weekend. I reckon I've done Coke less than 50 times. And the worst it got was when I paid that stripper to do bad things.
How much did you pay her? That's the question. Lot. How much did you pay her?
$1,000. But
That was fucked. I could not believe that.
But apart from that, it's like what it wasn't like. Oh, I got a drug addiction. I had to suck my drug dealer's dick. It was like, no, I had sex with a fat chick and I felt bad afterwards.
Yeah. That's
like it wasn't bad, but I started to know that there was an issue, and like you put it down to like moving out of home at 25. You go into lockdowns, like you sort of.
You haven't experienced sort of what
you haven't exactly
normal,
like never, and it's like there was a study like you isolate a mouse and give them two options like cocaine laced water and regular water. They drink the cocaine laced water until they die.
Yeah.
You put a mouse in a sanctuary with other mice and shit to play with.
That'd be alright.
Yeah, they just drink regular water.
Yeah.
It's like. I'm not blaming anything for it. It was bad on me.
At the same token, right, all our mates are pretty much the same. We don't have mates that are fucking addicted to coke. We've got mates that'll do coke on weekends, blah, whatever. Like,
I just saw it starting to be a bit of a problem, so I tried to veer away from it.
But that's not a bad thing. But,
nah, shit, no. Like, it's been
some
3 or 4 months now, and I feel good. Like, I haven't had a beer in a couple of weeks, and it's like you feel like you're more productive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Decision making. You
so
go
I
to the
have
gym
a beer
more.
every night, or except like obviously night shifts and work. And
Yeah.
Like day shifts and that, I'll have a couple of beers, but yeah, I don't like. My max would probably be 4 beers, if that, a night.
Yeah.
Like fucking sometimes I might have one, sometimes I might have not any, but at least you notice that there was a fucking problem. Then you're like, fuck, I better change it up.
I think it just got to the stage where every experience wasn't enjoyable, and you sort of look back and you think, fuck, like, I probably can't look at this friend again. Like, I said shit, and I probably need to apologise for it. And you started losing more friends than what you were gaining, and it's like the tendencies and the money and everything, like, you know.
That's my big, like, say I'll go out for a weekend or whatever, you buy a gram, it's like, what, $350. You wake up in the morning, you're like, last night was fucking sick, but I'm literally down $350.
But not only that, like the beers associated, and if you
it
might be $1,000 night. Essentially,
more, yeah, that's right.
But
if I go to Melbourne, I'm fucked. Like I'm bad. Like last time I went to Melbourne was fucking $1,000. Just like that was not including accommodation around. That was just going to the strippers, getting fucked up. Because I can drink beers like no drama, but then you start doing like MD, Coke, and like that. It adds
gets
up.
bad, you know.
And then I went to fucking Brizzy, and it was even fucking worse because the strippers are 10 times better than they are in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And walk out $1,200 later just in the strippers. Like it's fucking bad.
Yeah, but to answer your question, Croatia.
Yeah, it has to be.
It was half the price of Australia, and it was probably 3 times the quality.
Yeah. Except what did you buy in Croatia? That was it Croatia? You brought a fucking parachute in a stitch up.
Italy.
Italy
It was
it?
tissues wrapped in glad wrap.
How do you know? Like
mind you, it was at 11 o'clock at night, and I probably started day drinking on the bus at 1.
Yeah, you'd have to be fucked.
We're buying. And the best thing is about Italy, I'd go back not on a fucking Kentucky. I'd probably do like 2 weeks, one on the Amalfi Coast and one in Capri. Their roadhouses, like our Wallen.
Yeah.
Instead of having like KFC Mac, it's like you sit down and you will have the best pasta of your fucking life at a petrol station, bro.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Auto Grill, they're called.
That's pretty cool.
So we'd buy like Red Bulls, and the Pringle jars over there, like the tubes.
Are fucking normal size.
They're not, so you can actually stick your hand all the way in. Like Australia, you tight ass cunts.
Yeah, you fucking twist your hand up trying to
it's
get
like you drive them with your knee, and you're trying to fucking tip them out. But yeah, it was good.
So Croatia's fucking the place to go.
Yeah, Croatia was good overall, dude. Like the locals are hard. Like the Balkans have been, all the countries within like the Balkans, you know, they've gone through that many wars and takeovers because they're on the coast surrounded by other countries. They've had that many wars. They're just tough individuals.
Yeah.
But it's cheap. And everyone's nice. Like if you respect them, they welcome you with open arms. Like I'd love to go back to Croatia.
Where was it? It was
without
Italy.
the substances involved, for sure.
So well, that's fair enough too. So it was Italy that you went that you had the.
That we got the stitch up. 3 of us got the stitch up.
Yeah,
and we knew straight away. Like, I didn't even open mine until the next morning.
Ah, yeah.
And I opened it up because you
imagine
needed
how
like
much he does that at night. Like
it was. He said 150 euro, which is times that by 1.6. So we're still ahead. We're still under 350.
Yeah. Well, you're not ahead because
We're thinking like we're thinking like fucking
bucks.
That savage mind is like fuck yeah. We're still ahead of Australian currency. So and then I didn't even end up using it. Like I went back to some Sheila's room, and then I wake up to all these fucking messages on the group chat like, "What the fuck? Were you in on that bloke? Rah, 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 it's tissue." And I'm like, "Okay,
I brought some too.
And
Why
I'm
would
like,
I be in on it?
Yeah, and he's like, "It's fucking." And so I throw him mine. And I'm like, "Does it smell like diesel?" And he's like, "No." And then he fucking stood on it, and it was just paper. But it's. I look back and sure there were good and fun experiences from it, but it just started getting shit afterwards. And you think of like the money associated and the way, like the last few times I've even got pissed in public, it's like I don't really like the person I am when I'm drunk.
Do you reckon it's like, well, not here as such, but when you're overseas, the person you're with, like it's not like you and I were getting pissed at a pub or whatever. It's the person that you get pissed with, you don't even know how they are with piss, and then you start to like that chick that owed you money and shit, and then like you drink
Croatia, like
you drink
that was drug related, dude. Which was that was probably the first bad experience, and then it was like for every 2 good experiences there were 2 bad ones, and then for every 2 good it was 4 bad, and it just sort of went down, and it was like a bit of self-evaluation. You get like the blues when you're hungover, and you're like, you start evaluating everything, and you're like, fuck, something's got to change.
Yeah. Especially when you're hanging out with people you don't necessarily like.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, we can have fun without this.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
You know,
if you get pissed,
it adds fun to it. But yeah, it was they were stunning. Like, they were 12s.
Yeah.
From Newcastle, I think, somewhere near Sydney.
Wealthy families,
Cronulla, like daddy's money.
Yeah,
and it's like, fuck, they're paying me attention. I reckon I reckon there was probably 4 packages in my pocket that night.
So did you find yourself in that position where like
I found I was very vulnerable, and I think to some extent they took advantage of that, knowing that they could.
Yeah,
that's by the end of it, like I didn't leave my room the next day. Like I was embarrassed, I was hurt, I felt humiliated, but at the same time, like I'm responsible for all of that, so I have to wear it.
In a sense, like there's nothing better than a female affection, like especially if they're hot
especially
as fuck.
like I'm not, it's probably why I sort of went the financial route. Like I'm sort of outgoing as far as like the talking, but like I haven't been with a stunner before like that. And it's like they say, like, it's your biggest weakness. You know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah.
And it actually that's where it went south, and the boat actually divided. So the next night they did the same thing, and I was drinking, but I was off it.
Yep.
And I was surrounded by there were 6 or 8 people that I made friends with on the boat, and I said nah, and she actually punched me in the face.
Jesus.
And I said, like, you actually owe me money. Like, you said that you'd pay for it last night, and then she threw 50 kuna at me, and I'm like, that's $10 Australian.
Yeah.
Like, did Daddy cut you off, or?
Which is your thing. You are.
And I sort of like humiliated her in a way, and then she sort of went at me.
But like, you're stating facts, because at the end of the day, what did she do as a job? Like something basic, fucking.
But that's the
40
thing.
grand a year, 50 grand a year. It's like,
bear in mind, Sail Croatia, we went on the VIP one. So there's Navigator, which is like 18 to 30s. Then there's Explorer, which is like young professionals, and then there's Elegant. So we did navigator on an elegant boat.
Yeah, right.
So VIP boat.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 or 4 of them a year. And so everyone, like people from Perth are on good money. Like the people that I rub shoulders with, like, you know, work hard, play hard. Sort of like us to some extent. And daddy's money.
Yeah,
a couple of
that's
them. Like mining money over there too.
I don't think I could get along with blokes that are daddy's money.
No, it wasn't the blokes. It was all the women.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be sexist by that, but you're 21 and you've gone to Italy on your uni break, VIP South Croatia, Tomorrowland, and a couple of other places. You probably spent upwards of 40 grand.
Yeah. But let's be honest.
You're 21.
Yeah, that's a bit sus.
You know what I mean?
And let's be honest though, if your old man earned fucking 500-600K a year, you'd probably be a piece of shit.
Oh, fuck no. More, man. More.
Yeah,
that's just his commissions.
And that's what happens. Like, they don't learn from the start. Like me, when I first brought me car, the old man's like, buy that car, fucking $1,000, that'd be great. Fucking next week it comes fucked. $800 later.
Because you did 20,000 burnouts.
Oh, that was when I got my P's, but before, when I was on my L's, there was no burnouts. But like, you know, $800 later, and he's like, yeah, you better fucking save some money to fix it. You know, you actually learn to save some money and to do something. But
you know my story. Like, I got bullied in primary school. Like, mum and dad didn't have any money. And so the only way for me to make money was to sell horse shit to old people's veggie patches.
It's not even that. I got
fucking
good.
Yeah, you were good, but like I got picked on pretty hard for that. But it's like the only way for me to make money is to sell shit.
Yeah, and it worked. But
it worked. Like I bought my first car with it.
Yeah,
but it's
there
like
was cunts at like even yesterday I think it was. I seen a cunt that you went to school with, but I did. I don't think, but we know him anyway. You know, I seen him. I was just like, and I never really like got along with him.
Yeah.
I seen him and I was just like, you look like you've done nothing. And I'm just, not that I've done fucking heaps of shit, but I'm just looking at him like, you know, you used to pick on everyone, but now look at you haven't achieved
it's
anything.
The best.
Like,
it's the best when you find someone who used to bully you and it's like, oh, I'm on top of you.
Yeah,
like you could almost jerk off over that rage. It's like, I'm doing so much better.
I'm like, fucking hell, you poor cunt. Like,
it's not even, I've got no sympathy for him. If you're going to give
he used to pick on me. That's why I think I had that general mindset. We never got along, but I was just like it's funny now that I look at you and you're just like, you're everyone else, but back then you were like trying to be popular and high up.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, but like doing the podcast, like people, not to my face, but people will be picking on me that we're doing it.
Who cares, man?
I don't give a fuck.
No. Hey, this is good, and it's like it probably gives you like an insight as to who you are as a person.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and like we've spoken about, I want to do a podcast one day in relation to like the beer reviews, but maybe like scale it back a bit.
Yeah.
But honestly, for what you're creating, man.
Like,
as far as a snowball effect, this is an awesome setup.
Well, we got 185 downloads last month.
That's awesome.
Which, like, it's not a fucking heap.
Hey, it's a start.
I don't post it on my public Instagram that much just so I don't want to annoy cunts, but it's getting out there at least. But
yeah,
fucking who gives a fuck? People will fucking complain that I couldn't give 2 fucks. But it's fucking, how long have we been going for? An hour and fucking 20 minutes, Chico.
I think it's been like good content.
That'd be right.
It's been okay.
We'll see this on YouTube or Spotify.
Yeah.
Either one. Tanner's already made the fucking artwork for it.
Is he really?
Yeah, he got a fucking photo of you. He's photoshopped it. I've got a graphic designer that does all my graphics and shit for like TikTok and all that. So I'm going to get him to make us one of that, but in a cartoon version. So we'll start using that soon.
Yeah, see.
So yeah, shit's happening. We got our first fucking guest. The next guest is on Saturday, I think. So we'll get Baston on. He's been on Triple J Unearthed. Fucking
the rapper.
Yeah, like 6 times. He's fucking actually doing not too bad.
Is he? Good shit.
Yeah.
He was on here before, wasn't he?
Nah, you're the first guest, cunt.
Oh, what?
The first fucking one.
I swear he was been on. No.
Nah. First
yeah,
guest.
wow.
So yeah, it'd be fucking interesting to see where we go, but.
No, good shit.
Either hate us or love us, I couldn't give 2 fucks.
That's it. Like, you just got to be yourself. I feel like nowadays everyone's trying to be something that they're not and superficial.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you just got to be vulnerable every now and then.
Yeah, your comedy thing is completely different because no one that we know is going to do it.
Nah.
So that's why I said to Shane that I was like, let's just go watch him. Not for the fact that he's going to suck, but it's going to put pressure on him. It's going to be fucking hilarious for one. But you actually did well. Like, it was sort of like we weren't even there. So I commend you for that. You did fucking good.
Well, when that light's in your face, you can't really
see shit
anyway.
Exactly, yeah. I've done fucking school performances and shit like that. Like, you can't see what's out there.
I had a bit of a lucid dream. It's probably the last dream I had. All I didn't work at the factory. I traded chairs.
Yeah,
I did stand-up comedy.
Actually goes to my fucking next question, which would have been, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, you've started this...
That's tough, man.
You've started this new career. Like, it could be a career. Let's say
it's a hobby, and that's the thing. Like, everyone who I listen to who are comedians moved to LA with absolutely nothing. I think we're in a situation where, you know, we make six figures.
Use it to your advantage.
And everyone's like, oh, you know, factory work. But it's like, if you can guarantee financial security, a roof over your head, working 4 out of every 8 days, explore your creative side for your 4 off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And sort of, I feel like there's no pressure on that side. So hopefully, as a result, I do better.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
my honest,
that's tough, man. 5 years.
I know, like normal people, but 10 years, but 5 years is a fair bit of time.
Yeah, what do you? What's yours?
Mine's pretty fucked. I want to leave the factory at the end of next year.
You do?
Yeah. If I can, I probably won't.
Auto-elec?
Nah, I want to get completely out of it. I want to drive excavators, and people like listening and be like, "That's fucking shit." But it's just something I can do. Well, I want to do. And you know, they're like, it's the same shit. You're just controlling levers. It's like, for the last 5 years of my life, I've been fucking packing powder in bags.
Yeah.
I can fucking control levers. That's not a drama.
I think the best thing about us too, like, even if you're doing your job and monitoring things, you can still do shit in the back end.
Yeah.
And actually do a bit of research and understand shit and learn stuff. Sure.
That's what I mean. Like, 5 years isn't all that long, but you know, if you do pursue the comedy career side of things, it'd be great. But my only word of advice to you is, like, from watching your performance stuff, is flow a bit better.
Yeah. So like, bear in mind that was my second time.
I know. I'm just
second
saying,
ever time.
Like, if you don't have criticism, you're not gonna fucking.
No, 100%. Yeah, it was very jagged.
Better,
yeah.
And then don't try and be who you get your inspiration from. So like Joey Diaz and all them cunts you listen to, don't try and be like them dirty cunts that they are, because they've already got the career and millions of dollars. If they lose it, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Don't try and jump the mark and offend people on your way, because when you know one, they'll just be like, nah, he's too controversial, we won't have him.
Yeah, even the dick joke, you think that was too controversial?
No, that was fine,
different
that's
completely.
Taking the pick of yourself, so who gives a fuck? Like, that bloke with Asperger's and that, like, he
did the same thing and it worked for him.
And it worked, but along the lines, people probably feel bad for him, so he'll go a bit further. But taking the piss out of yourself, that's fine, but you know, you just got to pick where you draw your audience. Line. Yeah.
No, I agree.
For sure. Like, you know, if
I appreciate it.
Pick on like let's say the conflict at the minute, Russian and Ukraine. If you start messing with that and you know one, you're not going to go anywhere.
I just thought like you know, tying that in with the deck, with that sandwich board. I actually think like betting on Ukraine at 7.75 was a pretty good bet. Like, Russia still haven't taken over. Putin's tanks are running out of fuel.
He's
like he's
going bad.
He's putting like fucking shopping trolleys on the top of fucking tanks to protect them. It's like, what the fuck's a cage gonna do?
Did you hear what they fucking did today in the peace talks? They tried poisoning the Ukraine officials. It's going bad, cunt. Like, he's running out. Surely he's running out of options. He is. Yeah. It's fucking...
Everyone's thinking like he doesn't actually live in Ukraine at the moment, because the only footage of him are in rooms.
In Russia, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably doesn't. He'll be like I said to
might
Tanner,
be in fucking Marupna.
Yeah. Well, I said to Tanner a couple of episodes ago, I said he is questioning who's sitting next to him currently.
You see that table is like 20 meters away from everyone.
Yeah, because he has no trust. He's got no...
Yeah.
The person standing next to him might backstab him tomorrow. Like, and his own army's turning on him. Like, the Russian bloke last week ran over his own commander in the tank because he didn't agree with what he fucking said.
Even like the oligarchs. Remember when you were like in school and something bad happened and everyone kept their mouth shut?
Yeah.
And then the teacher was like, right, everyone's staying inside for 20 minutes. And then people start looking at each other like, let's stop this cunt in. I don't want to stay in.
Literally.
As like, the EU and NATO, like, taking the oligarchs' fucking $300 million yacht. And
exactly, the poor cunt did nothing.
Yeah, it's like, okay, he's talking to all the other oligarchs, like, Putin's fucking got to pull his head in. I'm losing all my fucking tours. Yeah. We're going under.
That's right.
It wasn't a bad idea.
It wasn't?
I don't think it... I think it was a good idea, like, stealing all their shit.
Oh, yeah, but I thought you meant the Ukraine and Russia.
No. Oh, that's horrible. People are losing their lives. Like, he's bombing hospitals and schools.
Yeah, he's a fucker. He should be held accountable, but yeah.
But he's a killer. Like, he was in the KPG for 15 years. He's got a black belt in some fucking...
Yeah, that's right.
Discipline. He's a fucking killer.
But if he's not dead, it's going to be a North Korea all over again.
And that's it. You got North Korea, you got China, and that's really
and
it,
India now.
India are communists, though.
No, but they're like backing Russia now.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're backing Russia.
India?
Yep. I was in the news the other day. They're all like Russian fucking pros. So who knows what happens from that? They've obviously got deals in oil and fuel and stuff, but
yeah,
I don't know. Joe Biden's not helping. He's a fucking flog, that cunt.
Joe he's had like 2 brain surgeries.
He's fucking... there's a whole page on TikTok dedicated to his speech fuck-ups.
And even, who's that, Pelosi? The vice president?
No,
she's just as retarded. You can't say the R word, but she's retarded.
Yeah. That's right, yeah. That's... I don't know. It's all a problem because as soon as a NATO country gets involved, we have to get involved.
But like all our leaders are people that would have got picked on in school. Like, they're all soft. Like Scott Morrison is a fucking muffin. Who else? Kim Jong Un. Take his fucking money and put him in the ring.
Yeah,
put him in the ring with fucking Putin.
He'd be fucking hopeless, but
he'd get choked out in first round.
But the thing is, let's say fucking that bloke that said to Scott Morrison when the bushfires happened, "We love doing this shit, you fucking cockhead." Remember that cunt? His last name is Parker. I can't remember what his first name was, but he's like, "Are you from the media?" And they're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you go tell Scott Morrison to go get fucked because we love doing this shit, you fucking cockhead?" Like in North Korea, that wouldn't happen because they're worried of him. But Scott Morrison, they're just like, he fucking welds with his helmet up, and every guy makes a meme out of him.
When I was in China, you weren't allowed to ask questions that would offend.
Yeah.
It was all about keeping face. You had to respect those who were hosting you or who were older.
Yep.
And someone made the comparison. We went to the WeChat, which is their social media platform. We're you've just ripped off Facebook and Instagram combined. And he was like, "No, you can transfer money through us too." So that was racist with that voice. But
so you get a percentage of it. That's all it is.
That's all it is. You're getting a cut. But they rip off everyone. That's why they're so good with technology. It's we'll steal that. But we went to another place that was American owned on China soil. And they said someone had been jailed for 7 years for taking a photo and putting it on WeChat of a pond with dead ducks in it.
Jesus. Just because
the pond was poisonous. And he said the pond is poisonous, look out. But because it was owned by someone, they had, put him in for defamation and he'd been jailed.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? There's no...
It's the same as that cunt that fucking apparently ripped the propaganda poster down in North Korea and they beat the fuck out of him and then sent him home to the US. Remember that? Oh, he apparently there's no evidence that he actually did it, but he ripped a propaganda poster down. So in North Korea, they play over each household has a radio that's owned by the government that plays propaganda. It's like full out of a video game. Like, so I watched this chick that escaped in the 90s, I think. Before.
Was that
She's
she
hot
was
as
on
fuck.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Big tits?
That dude, yeah.
Dude, Andrew Schultz has a bit about her. He's like, I saw her tits, so I was going to start feeding my wife rats, like, fuck.
Literally, like, yeah. That chick.
Oh, yeah.
She said about, like,
that was sad what happened to her.
Yeah, but fucking,
her and her mum.
That's what I mean. Like, that's how fucking controlling that country is.
Yeah.
And they just get away
and they had
with
to
so
cry.
much.
They had to, when Kim Jong-il, Un's dad, died, they had to cry.
90 days in a row or something.
And if you didn't cry hard enough, you went to jail.
Yeah, no. If you didn't cry hard enough, you and 3 of your fucking generations got killed.
Yeah, that was
That's
their version of the Purge.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah,
if Scott Morrison died, no cunt would cry and fucking everyone would be dead. It's fucking...
Yeah, it's fucking full on what happens. And even every house has a quota. They need 1 ton of poo per year before the harvesting season. So you have to collect your own poo to give to the government before the harvest. Yeah, so everything's organic over there.
Fuck. Well, they have to be because they don't.
Exactly.
They don't go outside their country.
And they catch, like, snakes are a delicacy on the streets. People catch rats. They get sick from the rats. They die, then the rats eat them. And then more people get the rats. And it's just a vicious cycle.
Big cycle, yeah.
Yeah.
That's their way of stopping over...
it's in a cruel way, though. Like, it's pretty
overpopulation.
fucked. Yeah.
That's fucked. Anyway, we've been going for an hour and 31 minutes, Peko. Normally we go for 45 minutes.
It's been a good chat, though, man.
It's been fucking great. Tanner will love fucking listening to this whole thing and fucking figuring out his work because I don't edit it. Tanner does. So on that note, I do want to thank you for fucking being the first guest on the fucking Bogan Yack
Thanks for
podcast.
having me, champion.
Thanks for taking the fucking balls to have a chat.
Cheers.
Shano wants to do it, but I dare say he fucking never will.
He will get through one of these beers.
Yeah, that's true. I'll buy 2 beers. Actually, I'll buy 5 and he can have 1.
He can have 1, you have 4.
But yeah, I do want to thank you on behalf of Tanner. He would be here, but we're not set up for fucking 3 people yet.
He's done well with the table, man.
Yeah, it's fucking $200 from Bunnings.
Remember I said.
So yeah, that's right. Yeah, you helped me with it. So yeah, thanks for that, and we'll see you with episode 12, my dudes. See you, bye. Chew.